We are super excited to put on this panel. This is Women in Visual Effects' first ever event. For those, we are doing this in collaboration with Women in Animation, and of course, thanks to Industrial Light and Magic for hosting the event. Just to give you a little background, Women in Visual Effects is a video series that highlights and basically tells the experience of women who currently work in the industry. We've been releasing videos online, but we thought we'd extend it more to actual events like this. So we're giving this a shot and seeing how it turns out.
Every morning you kind of come in and you think you might know what the challenges are going to be for the day, but often you end up being surprised by something that has happened overnight, that some new shot is not working the way you want, someone's having a challenge with the technology that they're developing, and someone wants to talk about what to do next. So I feel like every day is kind of a new adventure, and much of it ends up being good, wonderful conversations with other people about what we might be able to do to develop the next piece of tech that's going to solve this specific problem that seems to have changed.
I think so. One of our challenges there is writing tools that that really put the hands really put the abilities into the hands of the artists. And if they have the right tools, then they're going to get the work done. And so as we move towards that, I think we're always trying to figure out how best to improve on those tools as we're working to make them more efficient and to kind of see those things happen over time.
I was one of the first engineers to be kicked out of the department, so to speak, to sit out with the artists, and I absolutely loved it. And I worked so closely. I just sat with them, and I saw everything that they needed, and they just came to me, and it was just a really great relationship. And I got so many tools out for the artists during Pirates 2 and 3.
My award was just this past February. Specifically, when I accepted my award, I wanted to make sure that I made a statement about there being women doing this. And I had many of the other women who were often, either wives or part of the visual effects industry who were there watching other members of their team receive awards, come up to me afterwards and say, this is what I would like to see more of. I think this is really important, and I'm so glad that you accepted. I mean, I'm really glad I accepted too. But I think that was just really great to hear from other people. And I heard it from men as well, but it was definitely a lot of the women who were coming up to me afterwards and saying that, which I really found touching.
Yeah, I made a note to basically thank as many women as I could in terms of the technology that was involved in it. And that didn't go unnoticed by the other women in the crowd. So.
Yeah, I had the same experience as Rachel. A lot of people came up to me afterwards and said, oh my goodness, it's so great to see a woman get up there and get an award, because it had been over 7 years since a woman had received one of these. So some parents said, I brought my daughter here the last few years, and they've never seen a woman get an award, and now they get to see it, and they were just so happy, and it was emotional. The whole evening was pretty emotional.
Honestly, one of the things that I try to make sure that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis is really being a part of things like this, right? I think that one of the most important things that we can be doing as women in this field is being seen at some level. Like, not everyone wants to talk in front of a room full of people, but and no one should be forced to do that. But I think that people knowing that there are women in this industry make other women feel more comfortable being a part of it. And I also think that it can change the dynamic of a room. So if you have more places where women are parts of those conversations, then it's going to be easier to continue to get more women there.
Well, I would say first figure out what part of the visual effects industry you want to be in. Do you want to be an engineer? Do you want to be an artist? Do you want to be a supervisor? Do you want to be a recruiter? There's lots of opportunities.
Definitely programming, I think, is from a technical standpoint, like what we do, but also there's a ton of art involved in it as well, and so it's really kind of finding where the things that interest you in this field. Obviously, the entertainment industry is very broad in terms of what's there and all of the different jobs that go into it, and it's a very collaborative endeavor. But it's kind of identifying, I think, the areas that you really enjoy about the work, or different aspects of what things you like, and pursuing those things, whether it's on the technical side in programming or more on the visual side and in art and drawing and painting and all these things.
I think that also, I mean, this is true of any industry, but I think coming to events like this one, going to events like SIGGRAPH, making connections with people that are in the industry so that you can start to use those connections to move forward. I think that that's just good advice no matter what you're going into.